Hello, everyone. I'm Naomi. I'm the programs assistant at MyFace. And way before I started working at MyFace, I was actually a MyFace kid. I was born with a bilateral cleft lip and palate relating to popliteal pterygium syndrome, and I've had around 20 surgeries throughout my life. So MyFace and its mission is super close to home for me. MyFace has been an incredible resource for me and my family, providing a stay during surgeries through our MyFace apartments, safe communities through our support groups. And it was an honor a year ago to join this team and help us expand and keep making sure our programs are tip-top shape and that people know that they're never alone throughout their journey of having a facial difference, whether it's born like mine or acquired through accident or illness. So I am so happy to be here. We have so many new amazing programs along with our family retreat weekends at summer camp through Boggy Creek and Victory Junction. We have our online support groups now, so it can be accessed anywhere from around the country. We're in the process of expanding nationally, which is amazing, through the help of our amazing executive director and our amazing board. We are constantly doing new things, constantly elevating. So we have our Fireside chat series now, which is also amazing. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to spend some time with us and hear the amazing stories of Ali Stroker and her father, Jim. And I'm going to pass this off to our amazing Executive Director, Bill Villafranco.
Good afternoon and happy holidays. For those who do not know me, my name is Bill Villafranco, and I have the privilege of leading this organization as its executive director. See, I'm a storyteller at heart, and many of you know me well, and you know how much I value sharing my journey, my life experiences, the lessons learned, and the people who shaped me. It was that very love of storytelling and the power it has to build understanding and community that first connected me to MyFace. I was connected nearly 15 years ago as a donor. I became a board member. And thank you to the wonderful board, I actually rose to board chair. And I held that position for 5 years until they asked me if I would take over as interim director, executive director, which I graciously did. And along that journey, John Gordon, our board chair, stood by me the entire way. I was never an executive director before, but they saw something in me and the drive that I had for this community that they gave me this opportunity. And I got to tell you, it's been worth every sleepless night, the 7 days a week, because I get to meet amazing people. I get to walk their journey like with Naomi, with so many others. So, at MyFace, we believe every person has a story worth telling and worth hearing. We believe that resilience is not something people are born with. It is something that is shaped, tested, refined. And new families embody these truths no more than the two here today, Ali and Jim. They become friends. He's become another mentor of mine. So now I think I have 4 or 5 in my back pocket. And Ali's been really a voice of reason for me in so many different instances. So, Ali is a trailblazer whose voice and presence inspires countless others. And we know Jim's a teacher, he's a coach whose life mission has become to elevate the human potential. But the journeys remind us that hardship is not the opposite of hope, right, Jim? It's often the birthplace of it. So if you spend 5 minutes with Ali, you feel 2 things immediately: joy and depth. She carries a radiance that comes from choosing possibility over limitation again and again and again. But beneath that brightness is a well of hard-earned wisdom, a clarity and identity, belonging and purpose that is far beyond her years. Ali is not defined by what happened to her when she was 2 years old. It is defined by every moment since that she has decided that her story would be larger than what happened to her. And Jim is one of those rare individuals who seems to be built from equal parts gentleness and steel. A coach in the truest sense, not someone who trains bodies, but someone who shapes character. His life has been an ongoing practice in transforming adversity into service, pain into presence, disruption into deeper meaning. What others might find obstacles, this man sees the possibility of becoming more fully human. And it is an honor once again to be able to sit with both of you and talk about the possibilities that we all have built inside of us. So join me, please.
Good afternoon. I'm going to start with a song, because that's how I roll. And my dad would sing with me, but he has laryngitis. I'm kidding. I would never let him. But this song is my dad's favorite song. This song is called True Colors. And I'm going to sing a cappella today because it's more fun. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Thank you.
Beautiful. Wow.
You might want to sit up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So I've got just a touch, so apropos of laryngitis, because I just go around the country now and plead the same thing: E plus R equal O. That's it. Like there's nothing else. Like I just want to be the E plus R equal O guy. And E plus R equal O obviously are the events in your life plus your response equal the outcome. Now, most people that we meet on the street, they say E equals O. Whatever's happened to you, whatever experience you go through, equal the outcome. But you and I both know different. Because our response to what's happening, laryngitis, is what dictates the outcome. See, I'm getting better because of this. You see, it's making me focus even more and work even harder and give even more of an effort. And then lo and behold, like magic, like I get better. And that's Allie's brand. The most powerful thing she ever said, and she said a lot, was about getting better. And Allie, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to start, and then I am going to pass it to you, Bill, because I know you've written down questions, and we always sort of take the baton and run. But back to what my dad was saying. So I was injured in a car accident when I was 2 years old with my mom and my brother, and I had a spinal cord injury, which left me paralyzed from the chest down. My injury is C7T2 incomplete, so one vertebrae away from not being able to use my hands. And I remember as a kid, we would go to doctor's appointments, and there was conversations about, by the time she's 18, there will be a cure. If she does X, Y, and Z, she'll get better. And so this sort of lived in my mind and my spirit as a kid, that I had to get better. And then when I got older, I realized, there's no getting better. I am better. I am better for my challenges. I am better for being in a wheelchair. I am better for being paralyzed because of what that has made me go through, and the choice that we all make every day about how I'm going to handle it. Was this the greatest trauma of my life or the greatest gift of my life? And that's a lot of outlook, but it is about action as well, which is why my dad and I love to do this, because speaking about these outlooks, these mantras, our lived experience makes us better because we get to own our story. It's our narrative, and you get to tell your story however you like.
And Bill, no, well, I'm gonna just say, like that's the whole thing. I'm like in love with Stoicism. Has anyone here ever bumped into Stoicism at all? Like it's the whole thing, right? Like the base of Stoicism is one thing, and Epictetus is the one that taught it to us. Like the chief task in life is to identify and separate those things that are in your control, those things that are out of your control. And then put all of your effort, not just some of it, put all of your energy into what you can control. And all those things that you can't control, just let them go. And so what do we control? That's story. Story, another word for story, attitude, perception, the lens that we see things. You choose that, all of us. The lens of how you see your life right now. Do you get to live or got to live? Do you have to be here today? Or are you just so blessed to be here today? So the story just keeps coming every day. And the older I get, the more hair I lose. It's like, I'm the best I've ever been. Now, I'm not trying to be ostentatious or showy, but look, I want to believe that. And so the story is the key. And then the other part, of course, that we all control. One thing. One question. Are you going to go for it in your life or play it safe? Look at me. I'm like a third grader. I'm writing on the inside of my hand. Gaoatt. Gaoatt. Go all out, all the time. Just play, like play hard. Like I don't get scared anymore when I go for it. Otherwise, my mind starts going, well, what will they think? What will they say? I mean, I don't care what age you're at, whoever you are, just decide you're not going to play safe and go for it. And then all of a sudden you play offense instead of defense. I like that.
So, Jim and Allie, along those lines, in our community and other communities in the disability world, we're all confused. We have core values that we believe in, and many of our core values are to help others. But the ones that we want to help might feel that we're not real in why we're trying to help, that there's something for us. And Allie, in your case, winning a Tony Award, all the fame and fortune that you've had and continue to have, what are the core values that you have when you can then look at someone and have a conversation and realize no matter what potential they have for me, our values just don't align and it's better to walk away?
Yeah, great question. And the entertainment industry is a real challenge on this one too, because there's all kinds of people wanting all kinds of things in this industry. But for me, first and foremost, when I arrive somewhere, it's about generosity. Not what I'm going to get, but what am I going to give? And the truth is, some people might not like you. You might not be their preference, but that's not your business. Your business is this is what I tell myself. My business is to show up and be generous in every single thing I do. That includes a conversation. That includes with the people who I am meeting at the front door. Every single moment, my intention is generosity, to really listen to the person who I know has been writing all those emails all week. To really engage with the people who showed up at that performance or at that audition. That sets you apart every single time. Generosity.
We have this line in our like one of our core values is to be kind, not nice. And that might sound like an oxymoron or a little bit of a to be kind, not nice. Because we think there's a nice epidemic. And the nice epidemic is, oh, thank you so much for coming. Oh, yeah, well, thanks for pulling up the card. You have a great day. Nice are these short little blurbs that make us feel like we're a nice guy. Oh, thank you. Oh, that was very nice of you. Oh, yeah. They take no time. They take no effort. They take no energy. But they make us feel we're okay. I'm a nice guy. I held the door open for these 4 girls at Starbucks yesterday. They all had drinks. They walk out and go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, they're good little girls. Wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. This is Allie's thing. She takes the time. Oh, your mom's in the hospital? I'll pray for her. Oh, you're moving tomorrow? Good luck with the move. Oh, you got a game Tuesday? I hope you win. Oh, no. Your mom's in the hospital? What hospital is she at? And what room is she in? I'll bet a visitor. Oh, you're moving Tuesday? Good luck with the move? No. I'll be there with the boxes. No, you got a game Wednesday? Oh, good luck. No. Where's the field? I'll show up. That takes time and energy away from what you have to do. And Allie just constantly puts out this message of selflessness instead of selfish.
Yeah, and I would say, easy for you to say, Dad, you're retired. You have all the time. What about those of us who are in the season of our life where we feel like we have no time? Because I have a 3-year-old. And Bill and I were speaking before this event today, and we were talking a little bit about how do I use my time every day? Because that is also a choice. Yes, if you've got a long commute, you got to be at the office from 9 to 5, and then I got to commute home. But in those moments where you do have downtime, yes, it's important to take care of ourselves, self-care, all of that. But how do I really want to use my time today in those in-between moments where I'm walking from my office to the car? Who do I want to speak to? Who do I want to text? Who do I want to call? Where do I want to show up on Saturday? Where do I want to show up on Christmas Day? These are choices that we get to make with our time.
Yeah, it's so true. And when I hear you speak, I think of this little object in my mind about this nice thing, Jim. And I think wisdom is earned over time. So you might have seen instances where people were nice to Allie, and Allie thought that they were really genuine, but you saw something different. And I think in our community, it's the same thing with parents. You know, our parents are constantly under pressure, constantly wondering what's going to happen to my child when they go here. Oh, wait, this person's been nice. So Mikey comes home and says, Mom, this young girl was really nice to me, but you know that it wasn't nice. There was something behind it. And I'm sure there were instances when you and Allie, when Allie was younger, you saw something that wasn't really what she saw. And how does a parent work within that conversation with their child when you see nice for what nice is and Allie sees nice for something different?
Yeah, this was a really odd situation or unusual. I was a coach, right? I was a varsity basketball, baseball, football coach in our hometown. And I was coaching like thinking one day I want to go for it. One day I want to be in the Meadowlands. I want to be in the Garden. One day I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium. And then all of a sudden, the game changed. And all of a sudden, Jake and Allie were in a car accident. Allie's paralyzed from the chest down. Jake, traumatic head injury. All of a sudden, you're coaching the biggest game there is. And that's the game of life, right? That's the game of our life. So all of a sudden, my coaching, got tweaked from, come on, guys, you can do it, to like life or death. And so we had to bring in some crucial values, principles that we lived by. And the basic thing, and again, in the beginning, we were shaken, we were shook, we could hardly function. But then after we gained our perspective, we came up with 7 words and used those 7 words. Right to today, we use them. 7 words when things go south, when things get difficult. And when things go difficult, Allie says it to herself. What are the 7 words?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Because of this, something good.
Because of this, something good will happen.
No, I mean, you're like, Coach, you just lost your debit card. No, the service light went on in the car. Whoa, my plane got delayed. Because of this, something good will happen. See, I'm a coach. Every athlete I've ever coached, they go in the weight room. They go in the training center. And what do they all say? Coach, push me out of my comfort zone. I want to get strong. No one walks in and goes, give me the styrofoam weights. They all go, make it difficult. And then all of a sudden life hits and gives us challenges, and we're like, poor me. What's this all about? You see, the strongest people on earth are the ones who are given these challenges. These are hand-picked warriors from whatever you believe in, said, I know they've got it in them to handle this hero role. I know that. So God, or whatever you believe in, only picks their special warriors. And ironically, I had 3 come into my life, but they're all around. And so I don't see Allie's chair. I see her as a hero, as someone stronger. And I don't see with my face any kind of facial disfigurement. I see strength and courage. I just have a different eye. And I don't know whether you see that, but I think it's obvious.
And I wanted to piggyback on his and what's, kids' perspective versus parent perspective. And I want to talk about this concept that I like to live by called hosting your own party. So the reality is with certain kinds of disabilities is that they're visual. People see them right off the bat. And I think it's really important to set the tone. Are you comfortable talking about your disability or whatever you have, or are you not wanting to talk about it? That sets the tone first and foremost for people to learn how to talk about what you are going through. So for me, it's being the leader, it's being the host in the room. And then also the tone. I mean, when we were growing up, my parents were the people that I trusted the most. So when somebody was nice, I think for my parents, it's amazing. I'm so glad they're really nice. But now what? I think it's all about action, what people do versus what they say. So that's always something to look out for. Like, what is Mr. Rogers, where are the helpers? Like, look for the helpers. Like, those are the people that we are drawn to, but it's like you can trust that because they are the people that are putting in the work, not just talking the talk. So that's sort of how I feel, is that my parents basically modeled what it meant to trust someone, and we found trust in their actions, in what they did, not what they said.
And this is all, again, a story and a mindset. So you look at Allie in her chair at age 4. Okay, there's never been a wheelchair-bound actor or actress in the history of Broadway. Never. So is that an obstacle or an opportunity? How do you see it? Has never been there. There's never been a representative ever. And now you have a young singer, an actress. Is it an obstacle or opportunity? What do you see? You see, I see opportunity. I don't know if you do. Right now, the number one fear. I speak at high schools all over. And I go in there, there's 400 high school kids. And I ask one question. Can I have a volunteer? How many hands do you think go up? Zip. When I go speak at Morgan Stanley, can I get a volunteer? How many hands go up? Zip. When I speak to second graders, how many hands go up?
All of them.
Every hand. Okay, what is the number one fear of people? The people you know, the people I know, all those high school kids? It's called FOPO, right? Fear of people's opinions. If I come down there, I'm like, what are they going to think if they ask me to do something? Like, that's our fear. So now this whole My Face community, think about it. You are in this position, in this incredible position, to be out there and be the epitome of someone who doesn't fear what other people think and say. Every one of those kids right here that's in your community, I want to bring them. I want to bring them tomorrow to a middle school and have some confident young person stand up there with a challenge, just like Allie does, and say, you know what? I've conquered this fear. I've conquered it. I want to have them look up and go, if you could do it, I can do it. Because that's what Allie does, right?
You know, it talks to the value of community, right? It talks to the value of others joining. Something that we're doing at My Face aggressively is welcoming people to the community. Come be with us. You don't need to be alone. And Allie, you were somewhat alone for a period of time. And, you know, like Coach said, you broke some glass ceilings, and amazingly so. How was that journey for you along the way? There were probably setbacks, there were probably disappointments, but yet you had the internal fortitude to continue, which we tell our kids all the time. Look, we're not on TV. We're not on the news. We are not, quote unquote, pretty according to other people, but you're beautiful. And how did you handle those setbacks? I can use that advice as I talk to many, many people.
Well, I think that the setbacks are essential for the journey, which sounds weird. It's like, wait, why would you want to be pushed back in order to get to where you're going? But in my experience, when I left home and went to college, I went to NYU, I went to Tisch, and I was so excited. I was accepted early. And then the first week I got there, I sat down with the dean and the head of the musical theater department and dance and drama. And they were like, Allie, we're not sure if this is going to work out. And I thought in my head, well, then why did you accept me early? But okay. I was really lucky that I had had some experience as a kid advocating for myself, because my mom would be like, oh, will you call and cancel this appointment? And there I was, you know, at 8 years old on the phone canceling PT or whatever it was, if we, to learn how to advocate. But in this particular situation, I so badly wanted the opportunity. I wanted the opportunity to train at Tisch. And I wanted to be a professional actor, singer, dancer. And so when they told me, we don't know if this is going to work out, now, looking back, what I heard was, we don't know how to do this. Okay? And the reality is, why would they? They had never had any experience with somebody in a wheelchair. And for many of us in this room, we come across that all the time. We may have a family member, or we may also ourselves have a facial disfigurement, and someone approaches us with apprehension. Or when you say, we want to do X, Y, and Z, and they're like, we don't know if that's going to work out. It's just fear. It's just fear, and they don't have the answers, and people don't like to be in that position where they're supposed to be the leader and they don't have the answers. But that is the best kind of leadership. And in that moment, in that meeting at Tisch, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to host this party. It's my party now. You don't have any ideas? That's fine. I'll come up with them. Don't worry about it. Don't break a sweat. I'll figure this out. So they didn't want me to take dance classes and for me, I was like, I love to dance. And I'm not dancing on 2 feet, but who says that's what dance is? Okay. So I start observing the classes because they didn't want me to take part in the dancing. So I observe the classes and I begin to memorize the warm-ups because it's the same every day. And I realized, I can translate this to my body. to my physical vocabulary. And 2 weeks later, when we all met up again, I said, hey, listen, I understand that you guys are nervous about me taking dance class, but I would really love to try. Would it be okay if I did this? I'll be in the corner. I won't take up too much space, all that kind of like trying to play small a little bit because these people aren't comfortable. And so I start in the dance class for the first time, and something amazing happened. Everyone else started to do better in the room, and everyone was giving more effort. And I was dancing like Beyonce at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I was like giving you full choreography. No, but in all seriousness, I was having a good time, because if I'm going to be translating this movement, it's going to be different. I'm going to do it the best way I know how. And in that moment, I was like, oh, when you're yourself, when you don't apologize for who you are or how you are, you give permission to everyone else in the room. You're all allowed to move the way you move. You're allowed to be the way you are. That's accepted here. And I'm going to give you permission to do the same. So that, for me, has been a huge, huge part of my journey, is that when there are setbacks, when there are boundaries, when I get my first Broadway show, they're like, we're going to do the show this fall, but the theater's not accessible. Okay, great. Let's solve this one. Let's bring in the team of people we need. Let's ask around. Let's figure out how to make this theater accessible so that I can do it. And then the second time I was on Broadway, the theater wasn't accessible again backstage. So the setbacks are actually the way. It's just not a direct route. It's just going to have some long cuts, shortcuts, all around.
Yeah. It's just that line, right? It's that line, isn't it? It's that Teddy Roosevelt line about the arena. It's not the critic that counts. It's not the person that points out how the strong person has stumbled or the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the person who has the courage to roll or walk into the arena, whose faces are marred with dust, sweat, sometimes even blood, and may come up short again and again, because there is no effort with error or shortcoming, but who actually strives to do the deeds, knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotion of spending their life in a worthy cause, and in the end, they might experience the triumph of great achievement. But if they fail, they will have failed while daring greatly. It gets down to one thing, and we're all in this, our intimate, personal relationship with fear. It all gets back to fear. The question is, can we be brave? And if you overthink brave, you're going the other way. Allie rolls in. Yeah, I'll go, yep. Allie's the yes girl. Allie, you want to come to Paris to sing the Paralympics? Yep. Allie, any chance you want to go American Dream on two? Yep. Allie can, yep. And guess what? She screws up sometimes, but she learns every time. There's only one thing we have to do in our life. You know that. The thing that's the hardest for us to do. That's it. Whatever your intimate answer to that is, oh no, not that. That's what we're put on this earth to do. And it's so clear. We know it. And if we could just chip away like Michelangelo and just get these little wins. Yep, I went up to her and I asked her if she knew how to get to Astoria, Queens. Oh, that was so scary. Oh my gosh, I went to the parking attendant ticket and said, look, I think you're doing a great job. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas. That was hard. These little wins of doing things that make us feel uncomfortable, all of a sudden we get strong. And this is what she does. She just rolls forward. We're on offense, not defense. And you know what? We're scared too. We're scared. Yeah, I'm a loud mouth. No, I'm scared. I get up in the morning, I'm scared. But I know how to get out of scared. And that's do. Move forward. Give it a shot. There's no such thing as losing, just learning. And the most important things we all learn, you know them, are when we don't get it right. That's the way we figure it out.
Wow.
Sorry.
How do you follow that up? So, question perhaps or statement first. Recently, last night actually, I received a phone call from a young lady in our community, and she called me pretty scared. She was scared because she was now all alone. Her mom passed, and she didn't know where to turn. So she called me and said, you know, you're the guy I know who's going to help me. And I said, I am, but there's a lot of people that are going to help you. And she said, I need my community right now. I need to know that my MyFace community is supporting me and helping me. And I checked in with her this morning and I said, how are you? And she said, I'm okay. I've gotten so many texts and emails from those people in our community. I'm going to be okay. But you promised me you won't leave me. And I said, I won't. I promise you I'm going to walk this walk with you. Allie, who is that person for you? By the way, these questions I'm asking are not the ones I wrote at 4 o'clock this morning. So I just scrapped.
It's important to change it up. You got to stay flexible. We got to stay flexible, especially with the holidays coming up. No, it's a great question. I have a team. I would say my home team. We talk about this of people that I know. It's actually my favorites list in my phone. The people I call the most. Those are actually the people that I know can stand by me. And the truth is that each of them have their specialty. My husband, when I have stuff with work, so I'm an actress, obviously, a singer, I speak. When I have anything come up that's really challenging, I call him and it's like exactly what I need. The exact advice, the exact support that I need. When I'm having trouble solving some kind of physical accommodation, Dad, because he doesn't see inaccessibility. He only sees, what are the options? Who should we call? Oh, I know this guy. He's got a guy for everything. He knows so many people because he talks to everybody that, you know, if we need a resource, Dad, okay, when I'm having anything come up with my health, Mom, because she's my mother. And now that I'm a mother, I get it. It's like kind of the same thing. Like we are the same. And she has not only ideas, but intuition that I don't even have about myself. And then if I am looking for unconditional support around making a mistake, I call my best friend. Because I could call her and say, hey, I just robbed this bank. She'd be like, where are you? I'm coming. I got a getaway car. Like, no matter what, her name is Allie, is just right there. So, Bill, what I have realized is that that's not going to be one person. And that was a hard lesson to learn, especially when I was in my 20s and dating, and I wanted whoever I was dating to be the person who was everything for me. And I kind of learned it in a disappointed way because I was like, darn it. They're not good when I am upset about X, Y, and Z. Oh, but my sister is. Oh, but they're so good at this. So I think that it's like having that home team, having your board of directors, people that all have their specific thing that they're good at, and using those people in that kind of way.
I love that. And, you know, I mean, as I age, and again, I'm late in the fourth quarter, early overtime, to be 74, you know, I'm really falling in love. Like I'm actually, I say this bashfully, I'm falling in love with me. I kind of like me, and I'm comfortable with me. And I don't need anyone else to say I'm okay. I'm okay. Because I'm a good guy. And my identity is no longer based on my performance, my job. Oh no, I'm this, I'm that. No, my identity is based on who I am. And I like to say, I have the courage to show up for people, be brave, be kind to others. I smile out of gratitude all the time. And then I don't let anyone steal my peace. I own that. No one's going to steal my life. You know, the 5 regrets of dying people, if you've seen that. You know, the number 1. I just wish that I had lived a life truer to who I am instead of letting other people control my destiny. You know, when's the day you said, this is who I am? And you know what? With my flaws, with my cracks, with my hair, I'm okay. In fact, well, what's the Japanese term? I got it here. Kintsugi. You know the kintsugi. You heard that? The kintsugi or pottery. You know, when they fall, they crack, right? They all get all cracked up. And in our country, oh, here's a new one from Pottery Barn. Let's get a good one. No. They put it together so you can see the flaws, so you can see the strength. That's why everyone loves her. Like you can't hide. Like there's a young woman in a wheelchair who's smiling. What the heck? There's some paradox here. There's something wrong. She's saying I'm vulnerable just like you, because we all are.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on something because I think the position of being someone with a disability or, you know, any kind of physical disability, whatever you're labeling as yourself, there is, or in my journey, there's been a tendency to want to accommodate because I had fears of being a burden. I had fears of needing certain accommodations that might cost a lot of money for people or might make a situation harder for people. And it took a long time. Like, this was not like I'm 21 now and I have this figured out. Not at all. It took a long time and a lot of conversations with some of my friends from my community to realize that you don't have to accommodate for others. You can collaborate on creating accommodations for yourself and knowing that that improves your experience and everyone else's. Okay? But that is sophisticated because the truth is it's super vulnerable to be in the world and need help for anybody. But when you live it every day, there's a part of you that can feel like I should push that part of me away. I should become hyper independent. I shouldn't ask for help. I should figure this stuff out on my own at this point. No, that's not at all, I think, or in my experience, that has not been productive. It's way, way harder, but better when you, so this is a tip that I do for myself. So as an actor, you travel and you have a rider, which means you have a piece of paper that is sent to anywhere you go with the things that you need. Now, Beyonce requests pink toilet paper. That's not on my rider, but all of my accessibility needs are on my rider. And my accessibility preferences. Wait a minute. I can have a preference on accessibility? I can have a preference on how I like to be helped. I can be assertive in those situations and say, actually, can we get a full-length mirror in my dressing room? Because I can never see into those mirrors in the bathroom. I want to look at what I look like before I go in front of 1,000 people. This is something that I prefer. Do I necessarily need it in order to get around? No, but it's important for here. And that's as important as a ramp.
Yeah, the here part's crucial, and the tactics, the tools, the hacks are little strategies that you use to be at your best self. We all have our own little routine, right, that we go through. Well, for me, early on, like waking up in the morning was hell. Just waking up, going, I never wanted to take a nap because I knew I'd have to wake up and go, oh my God. Soon after Jake and Allie were injured, it was like the worst nightmare that could have ever happened. And so what I realized was the hardest part was the beginning. And it actually paralleled beautifully with being a coach. Because if you're a coach and a great coach or an athlete, you realize you've got to get to the field early. You've got to prepare for that game. If you show up 2 minutes into the game, you can't play. I'm here, coach. I'm sorry I'm late. Sit down. No, you got to be here and get ready. So every day is a game, right? Every single day is a game. So what's your pregame every day? And you might not have the luxury of being able to get up a little early, but if you're not utilizing that morning time, I mean, I'm on the Garden State Parkway at 5:05, and I'm not going anywhere, just driving. At 5:05 in the pitch dark, with my phone here, and I am narrating into that phone. I'm writing every single morning. No, every morning. No. Every morning, I'm there because I know it works for me. And if I'm speaking about being strong, speaking about being kind, speaking about being resilient and showing willpower and fortitude, oh my gosh, that covers up that little voice in my head that goes, "You're screwed, coach. You're up the alley. You're too old. You can't." I'm telling myself who I am. Now you could do this a lot of different ways, but this is what works for me every day. And I don't do it just when I feel like it. In fact, the most important days you do it are the days you don't feel like it, right? And then on to exercise. And then for 2 hours, I'll just move. And it's a goofy act. I'm 74. It's kind of, I call it yoga lifting. It's like slow motion, light weights. I'm doing all this, like a Tai Chi class. Whatever it does, wherever it works, it gets me fired up. And that's the way I play best, just for me. When I was a basketball coach, we pressed the full game. When I was a baseball coach, everyone was talking on the field. When I was a football coach, we went 2-minute offense all game. I want energy, action, because fear loves stagnation. You know it. Fear eats up that kid that laying on that couch too long, you're cooked. Right? Overthinking, you're cooked. Fear loves it. Like a mosquito is coming, they eat it up. So I like to keep going until I can't play anymore.
Wow. Allie, in the interest of time, let's open it up for questions. If someone has a question, we will bring you the mic. And sure. Okay, I'll do this.
Thank you. Ali, quick introduction and then question. Disabled veteran, injury my spine. I wake up after surgery asking my doctor, will I be able to do martial arts again? You should pray you will walk again. I told him, I will do myself. Later on, training special forces in contact combat. Kenya, a student come to me and asking, Sensei Yuli, can you train me self-defense? I don't have one arm. I told him, it's not if I can, you must to. At the same time, I was working with many disabled people, helping them and working with them. I saw people who succeed like you, and I saw people who give up before starting fighting. What is your message to these people who are ready to give up before starting the fight?
Thank you for
Beautiful question.
for sharing that. Dad, you want to go first? Or you want me first?
I'll go real quick on this. Yeah, but so like I really believe this. I don't know if you do. And it's the old Henry Ford quote, right? You know it. I mean, this is the truth. I believe in manifestation. Like Henry Ford said it. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. That's the whole thing. I mean, what's your first name again? Yeah, my young. Aviva. You know, Aviva's still contemplating whether she can get on Broadway or not. So that sounds like Yoda talking to Luke. And Yoda goes, come on, Luke, you can do it. Luke goes, I'll try. And what does Yoda say? Oh, time out. There's no try. Do or do not. So this mindset of what you're saying, I mean, the whole thing, it's so hard, but God, you can do anything if you really believe you can. And maybe sometimes you can't, but I'll tell you what, you go right to the end. So,
And my piece is you don't have to do it alone. So for people in this situation, I've spoken at a lot of rehabilitation centers and have known a lot of people who are recently with spinal cord injuries. and they can't quite see past the next hour, you don't have to. Just 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, then 1 day at a time. And then again, home team and community constantly. Like the young woman who called you last night. You do not have to do this alone. However, you have to have the courage to ask for help. And that's really hard. That's really hard because it's vulnerable to ask for help. But my thing is, don't worry about how far your vision goes for your future, because a lot of people, when they're first injured, can't see it. That's not where they are in their grief. They're just like, yes, and it's true. That old life, that old you is gone. It's new. You have something new inside of you.
I mean, in the coaching world, this is common practice, right? You just missed a 3. Let it go. Get back on defense. You just threw an interception. Let it go. You have the next play to play. I mean, the more you mull on what happened, you're cooked. We have had to reinvent ourselves over and over and over again. But you're a new person. It's a new chapter in your book. This is this new exciting chapter. And of course, if you're writing your book right now, and your show is in a movie theater, and we're all watching you right now, what would the audience be yelling for you to do right now? Well, come on, you got to do it, hero. What would they be saying to you right now in your life? Because it's not over. Don't say, well, no, I was a big shot 5 years ago. Oh, no. You're at your best self the older you get. Your best self. You know that, coach. So what is the audience saying? Come on, go for it. Don't you dare throw the towel in yet, or you'll end up earlier than you want to go. Right now, you've got an assignment here on earth, right? That's why you're still here. What's that assignment? And are you going to go for it or play it safe?
Gerald has a question. Yeah. First of all, I want to put you both inside my head 24/7.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Bill, thank you. I have a question. I love also that now you're a mom. How has that transformed you? How has that changed you? And also, can I ask a two-parter? If this is, I don't want to be greedy. Can you take me to a moment where you felt so afraid, and yet you were, what went on in your head to make you take action at a moment when you were so afraid and you were scared of failure?
Yeah.
What made you keep
This
going?
is a great question. So first question, becoming a mom has completely ruined my life. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just completely changed my life, because I am a family person. I have dedicated most of my life to my career. I was like one of those people that was obsessed. Like every single day I'm working on this because I have to do this. And then when I had Jesse, that changed, because now I had something that I cared about more than any of those things. And that, I don't really know how to do things like 80%. I'm like 150. I wonder where I get that from. And so when Jesse was born, I was like, this is the greatest role of my life. I now get to be a mom, except no one gives you a handbook. And they don't give you a handbook on how to be a mom in a wheelchair either. So I had to make it up. Okay, we're going out. Okay, how are we going to do that? One thing at a time. First up, I got to strap this baby to my body because I can't push a stroller. I got to push my wheelchair. Oh, wait, I am a stroller. It's fine. So we're all in one. And next part is, how do we get outside safely? Okay, so this ties to your question about what do I do in these moments of fear? So I want to talk about the night of the Tonys. Okay, so I was nominated about 3 weeks after we opened the show on Broadway. And nobody tells you this, but when you're nominated for a Tony, it's like running for office. So you start doing press, as much press as possible. Okay, and I'm doing 8 shows a week. Okay, this was 2019, by the way. I'm tired now in a different way. And so the day of the week of the Tonys, I get sick because what's the first thing that happens to us when we're under stress? We get sick. Always, always. Now, I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve about how to handle sickness. This past weekend, I sang with a symphony with mild laryngitis, but we've got tricks. But this moment, there were no tricks. Okay, so I'm nominated for a Tony Award, and the day of the Tonys, I have to be at Radio City at 6 a.m. for rehearsal. Then I have to go back to the Oklahoma Theater and do a matinee. And then I get into my Tony dress, the red carpet look, for the interviews, for an hour of red carpet press. Then I'm performing on the Tonys. Can't Say No, the solo. By the way, I'm sick. So I change back into Ado Annie. I go out there. I sing my head off, hoping that the Zyrtec works, and get through that, and then come do a quick change back into my yellow red carpet dress because my category that I was nominated for, Best Supporting Actress in a Musical, was 5 minutes later. So then I'm off stage waiting for that. I win. I get out in front of 10,000 people to do the speech, and then they take you off and they bring you to the press circle where you were, Daryl, to do interviews. And then I went home that night and threw up. Seriously, I mean, the body tells you everything. So in that day that I was so nervous for, I was so nervous. There was so much pressure on so many different levels: performing, the award, the speech, the show in the afternoon. So this is what I do, and this is tied to kind of everything I've talked about. It's one moment at a time. 100% of one thing at one time. I'm terrible at double tasking. Terrible at it. So I just had to go moment to moment that day, and everything worked out really well. But the minute I got ahead of myself, thinking about, when I was singing when I was singing Can't Say No on the Tonys, if I thought about 20 minutes later if I won, or if I was going to win the award or lose, I would be cooked, because I have to stay in those high pressure situations right in the moment.
And this is like Dr. Seuss talking about the balancing act. Remember Dr. Seuss? So this is someone who, I'm doing this, and coach going, go for it, go. But this is a big paradox, isn't it? This is the biggest trick of life. Go for it, but make sure taking care of others is as important. Like that, I'm working on my career. I'm working on getting better. I'm working on my, and I don't have time to go over and help out. No, that's the trick. Like all the super tricks, that's it. Blend in kindness, love, empathy, caring for others with your own pursuits, right? That's the whole thing. It's Adam Grant's book, right? Adam Grant's book, Adam Grant, great writer, and the book is called Givers and Takers, right? 3 types of people in the world. There's takers, but I don't see any takers in this room. You know what takers are. Like you're at a cocktail party with them, they're looking over your shoulder. Anybody more important? Then you're out of here. If they can't use you, you know them. Then most people are called matchers. Well, you help me, I'll help you. Oh, you gave me your lawnmower last week? Okay, I'll lend you my hedge clippers. Oh, okay. No, you called me 2 weeks ago? All right, I'll call you every 2 weeks. It's all a match game. But then there are these people, like in this room. They're called givers. And it seems like that you're not going to do much yourself. Like if you're just giving. But if that's your main thrust, a giver, you'll find all this magic. All this amazing alchemy will happen in your life. This is her trick. She goes. But she's always the giver. You call her tomorrow. Say, I need your help. Bang. So that's the trick for all of us. It really is, that blend, which is so beautiful.
That's probably not always the case. I was just wondering if you could talk about maybe a moment when you were not in sync, when you didn't agree or you couldn't work together on something, and how you navigated that.
I'll do a quickie, then I want you to finish up and then sing your song. So the key to parenting, take note, get your pens out. The key to parenting, it's not what you say, it's what you do. Being the role model of the person that you have. This is a quote that I had on my desk. Become the man you want your son to become. Become the parent you want your kid. You act as if you're the person you want them to be. That double takes any blah, blah, blah you said. You want your kid to one day write a book, you write a book. You want your kid to read the Times every Sunday, you read the Times. You want your kid to take an extra effort to be kind to the wait staff, you do that. That's the most powerful thing. Eventually, one day you'll go like, oh my gosh, why are you going up to the waiter and saying thank you so much and looking him in the eye? Well, Dad, I saw you do it for 20 years. Now I got it.
He was mad at me one time. It had to do with spray painting a tackle box. So when I was a kid, still to this day, I love makeup. And I decided I was going to get myself a fish tackle box for my makeup. But I wanted to spray paint it. And I didn't know that spray paint didn't come off. I think I was about 10 at this point. So I went out to the sidewalk and I spray painted the, and I picked it, after it dried, I picked it up and there was this big mark on the sidewalk. It was like this big red square. My dad has never, ever been upset about something material, ever. And all of a sudden, his face dropped, and he was upset about the spray paint on the sidewalk. He's like, that's not going to come off. And I was like, I know. And to me, we were raised with this, out of the box. We don't need to be like everybody else. We don't have to be, In fact, modeling was step outside and be wild. So I was very confused about this moment. Again, I was when I was 10 or 11, but we still talk about it because it was this ultimate lesson for you. No, I'm kidding. For both of us that oh, right, we both do have fear. We both do have a line where we feel pushed. We both have triggers. We're human. But I have to tell you, my dad used to say growing up, every person deserves to have one person who spoils them, and I'm going to spoil you, which is just a terrible expectation to set. No, it was just one of these moments where he was like, I'm by you no matter what. I mean, as an adult, I can be really bad about getting back to text messages, and I won't get back to him, and he's like, I'm always like, I'm so sorry, Dad. He's like, you don't have to be sorry. I just want to know you're okay. And so the way in which we support each other has been a huge moment for our relationship. And doing things together, speaking together, is been amazing, greatest joy of our lives, and also one of the hardest things. And again, for a mom-daughter relationship, my mom and I had a rocky when I was a teenager time. And when I was in my 20s, I was doing all this work on myself. And it was this moment where I dropped into having compassion for her. I couldn't see that as a teenager. I was so mad at her all the time. And then when I felt oh, I have compassion for this person who's been through so much and yet rises up every day and is just an amazing person, I finally got it. But it was in time, and also communication. If I want to chat for an hour and a half, call Mom. She'll talk about anything. Literally. And if I need support on something or I need a new idea, I don't even expect that my dad's going to have it. It's just if I'm talking to him, I'll come up with new ideas. That's just the way our relationship has always worked. Yeah. So
at the end, I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of people in a lot of really challenging situations. I get the opportunity to teach yoga at the Hudson County Correctional Facility. I teach at different lockdown facilities, blah, 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 blah. I've worked with bleeding disorder. I've worked with people in real chronic pain. And the ones that are flourishing, like within that, they all have some faith. They all have some belief. They all believe for some reason that things are not happening to them, they're happening for them. And they all really have this anchor. You know, my dad died when I was 9. And my mom, we were like, you gotta be kidding, God. This can't be. Wait a minute, Daddy's 48. Well, I got 2 boys here. And we kind of breached away from this world of, but now I'm so tight. Like everything's happened. Everything that's happened has happened for a reason. And I don't know whether we're going to do this game again. Like, I don't know whether we come back and play again or there's something else out there. But I know at the end, all the answers will come. And one day we'll be like, oh, that's why. Oh, my God. Why didn't you tell me, God? I didn't know. I didn't know this was the coaching. I didn't know this was supposed to be.
You're coming back as a cat.
Yeah, no,
Just to rest for a little
it's
bit.
gonna come one day. Like,
Late mornings for him. No, but in all seriousness, I'm not a religious person, but very spiritual, and in believing that, you know, that all of my challenges are for me. That I'm not handed anything that I can't handle, and if there is something I can't handle, then I have the choice to set a boundary and walk away. So, if it's okay, I'd like to sing one more song.
I don't think that anybody would mind. Just a couple of quick thank yous to our staff. They work tirelessly. I'd go through the names, but if I forget one, then that'll be a problem. So just to all of you for putting this together. The Fireside Chat series has really been a really beautiful program that we added recently. And to John Gordon, who's here, our board chair, who is, as I mentioned to many, a mentor to me for over 30 years, and someone who just continues to lead this organization through all kinds of new situations. So just let's give a quick round of applause to John. Last Monday, we recorded a holiday concert. 6 of the members of our community came together. They either sang, they played violin, they played cello, they played piano, and we will be releasing that recording on December 23rd. And we hope that maybe you'll turn off your Spotify for a little while and listen in. You'll be getting some teaser videos that have been put together, as well as information. But I'm really proud of those that came together in such short notice to put this together. There's a flyer on your table. There's also a flyer on your table from Joe DeMeo, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. He got sick. But Joe, you may remember, is a gentleman who had a facial transplant and double hand transplant, and he spoke with us just a few weeks ago. But he has his book coming out, so you can learn a little bit more about that. And Coach has his book here, and Allie has her book here. And if you can get Allie before she leaves, she's happy to sign it. But from all of us at MyFace, we want to wish you all a beautiful and healthy holiday season. Coach, thank you. Allie, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
And
Okay, so I just got back from Houston doing a show with their symphony, and we sang holiday songs. So I thought, I think it's 1 week till Christmas today. So I wanted to sing the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loading lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering a simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you. Thank you all so much for having us and coming today.
Thank
We
you
loved
guys
being
so
here.
much.